Alright, in this video we're going to make a simple house. You guys are going to need to click open over here, so I'll show you what that looks like. It'll look something like this. Then you're going to click on build a house right there, and then afterwards it'll take you to this page. It says build a house. Add shapes and color to build a house. Write some sentences about your house. So in the box down below is where our sentences will go. To type, I just click, and I already have two words there that say type here, so you can backspace carefully and erase those things and then write some sentences about your house in the box. Whenever you see the blinking cursor, that means you can type. Okay, so let's start talking about the house though. We're going to add shapes. So we're going to add shapes by going up to, let me zoom in a little bit so we can see a little better, this little icon here that says shape. It's got a circle and a square. Click on it. If you go down to the word shapes, it'll bring up another menu that has a bunch of different shapes. So we have squares, circles, triangles, all sorts of different shapes that we can pick from to use in our drawing. I'm going to go ahead and start with a rectangle. So for the most part, we're going to be using rectangles and triangles. So click on the rectangle. And now our arrow becomes a plus symbol, which means I'm in draw mode. So I'm about to draw a rectangle. So I click and hold, and then when I let go, a rectangle will be drawn. So that's my rectangle. I have dots in the corners. I can use these resize handles to resize and reshape my house. Don't make it too big because we have our title up here and we have our text box down here. So let's go ahead and add a second shape. Every time we add a new shape, we need to go up to the shape tool and select a new shape to add. So if I wanted to add a second rectangle, go up there and click on rectangle again. And this time I'm going to add a side here for the garage. Do something like that. And then if it's not perfect, you can put your mouse in the middle. You can also move the entire rectangle around if you do that. Connect those two just like that. Now I'm going to add a roof, so I'm going to need to use a triangle. There are two different types of triangles here. We'll use this one. Just stretch our triangle out. If it doesn't fit, you can slide it over. If it's too small, you can stretch it out. If you click on this little yellow dot, the yellow dot allows you to do some things differently, like tilt. You can see how it can tilt by grabbing that yellow diamond, and so you can have a tilted roof if you want. Okay, this circle rotates the full shape. In this case, we wouldn't want to do that because that doesn't make any sense. So I'm gonna undo what I just did by clicking on this back arrow to undo. So if you make a mistake, remember to undo and it'll go right back. So let me add one more rectangle. Let's go to rectangles. I'm sorry, triangles. I meant to say triangle. So let's go to this one though. And I'm gonna go like that and do a right triangle. And I'll make it kind of go like that. And then this one, maybe stretch that out a little bit more. Okay, so there's my house. I'm going to add some doors and windows. So I'm going to go up to rectangles under shapes and choose a door. There's a door. I'm going to choose another rectangle and make a window right there. I'm going to choose another rectangle. I'm going to make the garage door. Just like that. Okay. The last thing we want to do is make it look a little nicer with a little color. So I'm going to click on a shape. So right now the roof on this side is selected. If I'd like to change the color of the roof, I just need to go to this paint bucket and click on the little arrow and choose a roof color. So I'm going to I'll choose dark brown for this roof. And click on this roof piece, that shape, same color. Click on this rectangle. You can see I can actually move the whole thing out of the way. You can see I'm dealing with just this rectangle. If I didn't like what I did, undo and it will put it back. So I have it selected. I'm going to go up here and I'm going to change. We're going to make our house green. So this bigger rectangle is the background. This is the whole building on that side. Oops, wrong green. Let's pick that one. And then this rectangle is, of course, the door. So you have to know which shape you're selecting. And I select the shape and I go up to, I need to change the color, so I gotta go there. So let's do like a gray. Okay. For the front door, let's click on the door and then tell the door to be red. Let's click on the window and tell the window to be this light blue color. One last thing that we can do is if we want to change the entire background where we see the checkerboard, if you right click, so we use our right mouse button, the red dot on the mouse, we go to the word background and we can choose a background. So for instance, this color. Or I can right click again in an empty space on the background, go back here and then select a different color, like maybe this color. And when we choose the color, we left click. Okay. All right, then I have my box. Since I'm ready to type, I need to double click in here so that I can see my blinking line and I can begin typing. My house is fantastic. I love living there. We live in a nice neighborhood. My favorite room is the family room. Okay, so write a few sentences about your house. Make sure that you put a period. Make sure after a sentence, after the period, you put one space. We don't want a finger space, we just push one space bar. Now, the words are pretty small, so if I want to make the words bigger, I can click and highlight all the words and go up to the size right here and choose a different size. A little bit bigger. I want to fill in the box maybe. Okay. I can also, next to the numbers of the size of the text, I can go here and choose a different style. So that's kind of cool too. So I can go like that and choose a different font. Okay, that's a nice clean font. Another way of selecting all the words, instead of clicking and holding your mouse button down and highlighting everything, another way of selecting the text is to click on the edge of the box until you see the blue line and the blue dots. Just click. Now I know this box, this text box is selected. If the text box is selected, when I change these numbers and these fonts, everything in that box will change. So if I go to 18, you can see that it works. That's a little too big. Let's go to 24. Let's go to a different font. There we go. When you're all done, you can close it. Oh, one last thing. If you click on the edge of the box, in addition to changing the fonts and the colors, you could change the fill color or the background of the box itself, right? It's just like a box, like one of these boxes right here. So if I go here, I can make that a blue background. If I go here, I can make that color, or that color, or that color. I'm not sure I like that one. So let's go there. And then there you go. If you want to do a lot of detail work, that's an advanced thing. There's a thing called magnifying glass that you can use to zoom in. You can take the magnifying glass and zoom in. If you go in too far, you can zoom out by pushing this button right here. Okay? So why would you want to zoom in? If you take this, you can zoom in and easily do a circle, for instance, for the door handle, which would be really hard to do far away. So if you're far away like this, that would be almost impossible to do. So we zoom into things and we can add things. Zoom in. Every time I click, I zoom in a little bit more. When you're really close, you might need to use these scroll bars to move left and right and up and down to be able to see what you're doing. So I might want to add like a little window to the door, like that one, and I'll add one more rectangle to the door, like that. Little details. Okay. I want to make sure they're exactly the same size. They're not. So if I click over here, I can kind of see it a little bit better. And I click back on it and use the little dots to try to resize it. That's pretty good. This button zooms back out, and I'm done. When you're all done, click on the X, and then you're going to push the turn in button. Turn it in. All right, good luck and have fun.